Yo, what's up, my brother? If you're struggling to let go of the outcome with a woman when you have a date, when you have an interaction in the street, in the mall, bar, club, I think this video is gonna give you a very interesting perspective so that you can approach the next interaction in a very different way. The reason why I'm actually sharing this video is because a client asked me a question recently in a group session, and he said, well, I really like the idea of letting go of the outcome, but I cannot do it. If I have a beautiful woman in front of me, I need an outcome, because if I don't have an outcome, I lose the desire to pursue her. That was a really good question, a really good perspective, and he's right in so many ways. At the same time, something felt off because I could see what's underneath the desire to have an outcome, which we're going to discuss in this video. And there's an alternative to having an outcome with a woman. And I want to really share with you exactly how it looks like to let go of the outcome with a woman so that you embrace more confidence, you're more masculine, you're more magnetic, and at the same time still have the desire to pursue her, to, want something basically with her. Before I dive into this, I'm currently offering a one-on-one session at a discounted price. So if you're interested in working with me without joining a program, we can talk about approach anxiety and how to overcome that. We can talk about how to create sexual tension. We can talk about having a proper game plan on your first dates so that you don't fuck it up, so that you don't end up in the friend zone. We can talk about performance anxiety in the bedroom so that you stop coming too quick or, dealing with erectile dysfunction. There's a lot of things that I can help in these one-on-one sessions. And if you have been interested in working with me without committing to a really long-term program, that's, I think, the best opportunity you have at the moment with me. So click the link down below. Now, let's dive into the actual topic of the video. So the first thing that I want to mention here that is really, really important is that we need to make a distinction between desire and outcome in time. And this is actually the first thing that I discussed to my client. So I asked him, if you look at desire and outcome, where are they situated in time? Because that's a really important question to ask. You want to dissect what is outcome and what is desire. And as you probably guessed, outcome is in the future, whereas desire is in the now, in the present moment. The desire you have for this woman is in the now. It's not in the future. You don't know how you will feel in 1 hour because emotions, feelings are fleeting in nature. That's the whole aspect of the feminine, right? The feminine is ever changing. Your desire is ever changing. This means that in this very moment, you might feel like you want her, but maybe in 30 minutes you don't want her anymore. For whatever reason. Maybe she said something that turned you off, right? Maybe you smelt her breath, her stinky breath, and now you're turned off. Maybe she talked about a sexual experience that she had with another guy, and now you're turned off suddenly, right? So you don't know if your desire will stay throughout time. You don't know. The only thing you know is that you feel desire right now. And that's a big difference, because whenever you have an outcome, there is something underneath that outcome. And we're going to dive into this right now, because this is probably the most important thing that you need to think about whenever you have an outcome. You want to ask yourself this question. Why do I need an outcome with this woman? What is the reason why I want an outcome with this woman? And you will see that it usually falls down into, well, if I have sex with her, then it means that I am enough, right? So you're using the outcome to feel enough, right? You can also use the outcome to prove to yourself that you're a cool guy, which is actually connected to feeling enough, right? And I can go on and on about all the different reasons, right? But what I'm saying here is that usually, not in all the cases, but Very often, you need an outcome because of insecurity, because of fears, because of trauma, because of shadow, right? Because there is something that you lack in you, so you need this outcome to fill in the cup. The problem is that the cup has holes, right? The piping system is not good. Let's put it this way. So it doesn't matter if you achieve the outcome or not. This is the interesting thing. It doesn't matter if you achieve the outcome or not, because the cup itself has holes, right? And I know that it's maybe hard to believe because you don't have the experience yet, but let me tell you, like when I started to have results with women a few years ago, I was not feeling good enough still. I was feeling super inadequate. I was feeling empty. And it fucked with my mind because I was like, wait a minute. I have the results right now. I have all these beautiful women that are into me. Why am I not feeling amazing? I mean, don't get me wrong. It feels amazing in the moment. But when she's gone, you know, and then you all by yourself and feeling like shit, right? So it was kind of a mind fucking thing to experience because my whole life I thought that if I would have results with women, I would be the happiest man. And when I got the results with women, I was not happy at all. In fact, this is a story for another day. I became suicidal at one point. It was this level of pain, right? A weird experience. And I'm sure that other guys that have had success with women experience the same thing. Dan Bilzerian probably. I know some other dating coaches that have experienced that because I've met them and they told me their story. It's very common. Very, very common. So when you have this in mind, why not removing the outcome from the experience you have with women whenever you go in the streets to talk to women, whenever you go to the mall to talk to women, whenever you go to the bar, to the club, etc., etc. Just remove the outcome and focus on your desire moment by moment. This is really the key. And it's going to take away all the suffering that you're experiencing with women. Because the thing is, and this is a harsh truth, you can only have control over the input, not the output. As much as I would love to tell you that you can control the output, aka the outcome, you cannot, brother. You cannot, you know. And it's such a mind fucking thing to understand. I'm going through that with business right now. Like I'm trying to raise the amount of money I'm receiving, and that's an outcome. And I have to unplug from that, right? And it's tough because I care about it a little bit, right? So I'm learning this right now with business. I learned this with women, and now I'm applying the same lessons that I've learned with women with the business. Isn't it interesting? So you unplug from that and you really tune into the desire that you have moment by moment. So this means that if you have a date with a woman, maybe you don't have sex with her the same night because you don't desire to have sex with her that same night. And you need to be okay with that, right? Because the interesting thing is, when you're so focused on the outcome, you lose touch of the moment with her. So you lose touch with this feeling of like, oh, I'm enjoying her. I can just relax. I can just be me and it's totally cool. You know, I am enough. I am attractive, you know, which interestingly enough, when you embody this vibe of like, oh, I'm just enjoying this moment with her, she's going to enjoy it too because of the law of state transference. Whatever you feel, she feels, right? So when you tune into that vibe, she will be penetrated by this vibe, right? Which in turn will make her attracted to you, right? This is, I know I keep on saying it, but it's mind fucking, right? Because you care so much about the outcome, right? You want it so badly. But at the same time, when you care about it so much, it never comes to you, right? Never comes to you. So let it go. Don't focus on that. Focus on what feels right moment by moment, right? And the more you tune into that, the more you will embody this real confidence, the more you will be in the present moment, and the more you will be magnetic to her, right? She will feel it. Because imagine the amount of pressure that she feels when you care about the outcome. She can feel it. She has this sixth sense. She can feel it, brother, let me tell you. So unplug from that. You don't need it, right? And allow yourself to dive into the mystery of what can happen moment by moment. And you will be surprised. Because you connect with the flow, the real flow of the interaction, a lot of things can happen. And the crazy thing is, sometimes when you connect to your desire like this, sometimes you can have a date and within 30 minutes you're kissing her, and then you decide, yeah, I feel it, I'm going to invite her home. You invite her home and you have sex so quickly. Some other times you tune into your desire, you have this woman in front of you, and you don't feel like kissing her, right? You're not into her so much. And you realize that if you would have cared about the outcome, you would have tried to create a connection with a woman who is not compatible with you. So you would have wasted your time with someone that you don't connect with. Isn't it crazy? And sometimes you feel that the desire is going to increase day by day, right? So first date, you feel little desire, but not to the point that you want to have sex with her. So you chill, you enjoy the conversation, you touch her, but just a little bit, not too much, right? Flirting, but also talking seriously, right? You balancing this. Next date, you spice it up a little bit more. Third date, you spice it up even more, right? And there's this like preliminary sex kind of happening, right? And eventually you have sex, right? When you start really connecting yourself to this natural flow that will happen between you and her, you will see that attraction will happen very naturally. You won't have to force anything. You won't have to pretend to be like, oh yeah, I'm the alpha guy, I'm so confident, look at me, like, because it doesn't work. Like, with some women it does work, but you don't really want to date this woman. They are either too drunk to be dated, or they just they have their own stuff. They are using you too, right, in some ways. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit of a just me talking like this. I didn't really prepare for this video. I just wanted to express something that happened in a group session. And yeah, I see you when I see you, my brother.